How's everybody doing? Today I'm going to redo my dining room set. I did it not too long ago, maybe a couple years ago, and I've changed the style. I did this crackle paint top, reupholstered the chairs, but since then I've redone my room in its entirety, so I am going to make it fit the room. So I'm going to paint the bottom white, the chairs white, use this material as the upholstery for the chairs, and this is the stuff I'm using. This is some exterior paint, satin, some polyacrylic for the top, and I'm going to use a sprayer, but you can use a brush. It's not that big of a deal. So let's get started. Alright, the first thing we got to do is give it a light sanding. So I got a sanding block, and we're just going to go over the entire table and give it a light sand. That way the new paint has something to adhere to. Next, I'm going to remove all the cushions from the chairs so I can lightly sand all the chairs. Here's my first mistake. It's my first time using this sprayer, and in hindsight I should have took everything outside and sprayed it outside because it made a complete mess in my basement, and I would not do it again. Now, after my first coat of spraying on the inside, I took everything outside and finished all the remainder coats for white on the outside. Alright, while the paint's drying on the chairs and the table, I'm going to start on the seats. Now, all I need really is the material, a staple gun, some staples, tape measure, and some scissors. That'll take care of everything. Quick note, the material I got, if you was to buy it by the yard in the same type of material, and it would actually be a thinner material, it would cost you like $35, like on Amazon or eBay or whatever. I actually bought a tablecloth. It's double stitched, it's thicker, It's waterproof and it's treated, and it only cost me $13. It should be more than enough material to do all 4 chairs. So this little quick thing to save you some money and get a nice pattern. First thing I do is measure the widest part of the chair. And we got roughly, I'm going to say 17 3/4. Let's make it an even 18 inches. And we're going to add 2 inches for each side. So that's going to be 22 inches. So it's going to be 22 inches wide. And same deal. It's roughly 17.5 inches. So we're talking 22 by 22 just to be safe. That'll give us 2 inches of material to roll over on each side of the chair seat. Now, in order to keep the pattern the same on each chair, I marked the center of each chair and then I aligned it with the pattern. And then I'm going to take my measurement for 22 inches from each side. That way the pattern's the same, or as close as it could be, on each individual chair. Now, I was lucky enough to have designs on both sides of the tablecloth, so I can easily line up my halfway mark with the original mark that I needed to cut. But if you don't, and it's a solid color, you're going to have to measure and mark the fabric and the chair so that your pattern stays the same. Okay, now that I have the one side, the two sides situated, I'm going to pay attention to the pattern. See how it's a little stretched right now? So what I'm going to do is pull it tight till the pattern's right. And when I have it right, starting at the longest corner, moving my way over, then I'll staple it. Making sure there's no wrinkles, especially in the ends. There you go. Now I'll eventually cut all this excess material and then go all the way around and re-staple it and hammer the staples in so that they're set nice. The idea is to keep the pattern the same on each chair. Alright, if you do it right, it should all work out where the patterns look similar, if not exact, all the way across each chair. Now for the top, I chose an anti-skid basement floor paint in dark gray. Now my reasoning for this was to keep it textured a little bit so things wouldn't slide across the table. And the second thing is it's extremely durable, so I don't have to worry about it chipping or, flaking off later. Final step is polyacrylic. It's going to give it a satin finish and protect it. Now you don't shake these cans, you stir them because the little bubbles will cloud the finish. Now it looks milky, but it'll actually dry clear. Okay, we'll let that dry for about 2.5 hours, and then we'll put another coat on it. This is the chairs. They turned out better than I expected. As you can see, there's no runs, no scratches, nothing I need to fix up or touch up. The seats turned out really well. No runs or tightness in the seat, no sagging, and most importantly, they're all on center. You can see each chair, the centers are the same, so the patterns are exactly the same. So it worked out pretty well. And this is it, totally completed. The chairs, table, everything turned out very nice, fits the room perfectly. I also turned around and did an extra bar stool that I had. I painted it to match and then recovered it. You always need an extra chair. Well, I hope everybody likes it. I am very happy with the way it turned out. And there you go.